Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Advanced Warfare in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the MK14 Eagle Eye. Love that patriotic sounding name. Not so sure I love this elite variant, but we're going to be talking about why in the episode. Let's start off with the stats of the weapon. It gets a 15% increase in the 2-shot kill range, but do make a note that the 2-shot kill range on the MK14 is only if you're hitting them in the head or upper chest. It'll deal 48 flat damage with some body multipliers on the head, neck, and truly the upper part of the chest, I would say breast and up. So if you shoot them within, I'll say, about the same 3-shot kill range as the base ASM-1, you can get a 2-shot kill. If you're hitting lower chest, belly, legs, something like that, it's going to be 3 shots. I have a problem with this on the MK14. You'll probably see me do it quite a few times in the video, is that most of the other guns have trained me to aim for like the center of mass, which in Call of Duty is like hips, legs, and let it kick up to the chest. With this gun, you really need to be aiming for the chest and up. I still do it here out of, I don't know, just sheer habit, but you do just get a flat percentage range buff on the weapon. It also buffs the long range damage, but it's not going to make any difference in time to kill because the MK14 falls off from 48 damage to 33, and 33 is unfortunately a 4-shot to kill, and the minimum damage is 25, which is still a 4-shot to kill, so it might make a small difference in hardcore. You'll get 2 shots to kill instead of 1 shot to kill, but in all practical terms, the medium damage range buff is essentially negligible. It won't make any difference in your actual experience or playtime or shots to kill, even with the multipliers, because they're relatively small. It also gets 10% less recoil. I would say this is probably unnoticeable. Maybe if you're an MK14 expert, a marksman rifle master, if you have professional eyes or whatever, you can see this, you can feel this. In my personal experience, I did not feel the 10% less recoil. Usually for me, I don't notice until it hits 20 or 30% or significantly more than that. But hey, it's a flat 10% less recoil, less gun kick. I stack this with stock to make it extremely accurate, and I feel that really plays to the name of the Eagle Eye. It's supposed to be a very accurate sword. I've used the iron sights, Samoyahia, kind of like sniper rifle weapon, and you also get a free quick draw grip attachment. Now this is a really nice one. This is one that I run on the base MK14 anyway, because I like to being able to snap to aim down sights, putting my shots downstream as fast as possible, because time to kill is a little bit slow on this weapon, usually because I don't get the 2-shot kills up close. I don't think very many people do, unless you play on PC and you have that crazy kind of Counter-Strike aim, but I do feel that it helps, and it's a useful attachment, unlike the free ACOG sight that I'm so excited about, said no one ever. I mean, nobody really likes that. Unfortunately, you do have a lot of attachment restrictions on this weapon, which is a major drawback to it. You can't put any optical attachments on it whatsoever. That's no red dot, no variable, no ACOG, no thermal, no tracking, nothing whatsoever, hence the name Eagle Eye. You have to use the iron sights on the weapon. You're also not allowed to use stock, suppressor, extended mags, or dual mags, and at this point it became very frustrating because when I first saw the class I thought that it was only no optical attachments and I wanted to go stock suppressor so that people wouldn't hear me shooting and so that I can do a little bit of left stick aiming. Neither of those tactics are allowed, and I can't put extended mags or dual mags on there, which is very frustrating because you get 3 less rounds in the magazine. So the base MK14 only has 20 rounds. This one has 17. That does carry through your entire ammo supply. It's not as big of a deal, but it is occasionally very frustrating on a weapon where every single round is going to count. 3 less rounds is 1 less potential kill you can get in if you're inaccurate, kind of like me. It makes a huge difference, and it's kind of frustrating that I can't put extended mags on there to remedy this. I feel that the weapon is best with parabolic mic and foregrip. That's kind of how I'm running it here. The foregrip helps a ton. It's already got less recoil just by default. The foregrip really cuts that down, and it makes it a very accurate weapon, which makes it far more usable with the iron sights, because the iron sights, by their nature, you're not going to be able to use as well as a red dot or something like that, but it's nice to have. The parabolic mic, entirely optional. I happen to like it because it's kind of like my try-hard detector. When you run around with the MK14 going pop, 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 people hear that, they know where you're at, and they kind of view you as an easy target. So the really smart players, the tryhards, the guys that are running silencers, that are hunting you, the smart guys, the ones that flank, you probably watch In Depth a lot, they're going to be coming for you. They're going to identify you as weak, and they're going to be coming and hunting you down. The parabolic might kind of let you know they're coming when they shoot at your teammates on the way. It's a big help to me, maybe not so much for you. I don't really feel that this is a very elite weapon. It still suffers from all of the base weaknesses of the MK14, well, the weaknesses of the base MK14, mind you. It just doesn't hit very hard, it doesn't kill very fast. all of the buffs that we get for it being an elite weapon aren't very practical or useful, and the downsides are pretty major, unfortunately. I mean, it's fun to use, it's accurate, you kind of get this cool feeling when you're running around using the iron sights to kill people, but is it a practical competitive weapon? No, absolutely not. And I feel that the Mark 14 or MK14 needs a buff more than any weapon in Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare has quite a few weapons that aren't very good. Case in point, the Atlas 45, the AMR9, the EPM3 is getting there, but the MK14 truly needs a buff. This is a game where we have really high speed, advanced movement. It's very difficult to use a marksman rifle in it, and it's even more difficult to use a marksman rifle that requires more shots to kill and shoots slower than all of the assault rifles and submachine guns and has less range. And that doesn't even make sense why you would have a weapon that's semi-auto, shoots slower, less damage, less range, and is extremely difficult to aim with. I mean, seriously, it needs a buff. It's not very practical and not very fun to use. Sorry about that little random tangent on the end there. I just had to add in my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this episode of In Depth. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. The previous episode is on the SN6 Money, and the next episode is going to be on the very unusual IMR Thunder Tusk. Drifter out.